This conference will now be recorded.
The session is being recorded. It started.
Hi everyone, my name is Rahul. I am from Bangalore. My experience in SAP is since last 15 years. I have been working in SAP as a SAP consultant and logistics. I have done 5 implementation projects, 4 rollout projects, 1 HANA migration, 1 HANA implementation, 1 ECC upgrade. Currently, I am working for an implementation project in HANA for a big pharma company. As this course is related to SAP Materials Management, I would like to communicate to you on some few of the prerequisites to join this course. Who should join course? So all of those who are interested in consulting, making career in consulting, in an ERP package or ERP solution can join this course. Differentiator would only be people who already have experience, industry experience. I'm not talking experience in SAP Materials Management. So who all have industry experience from procurement side or who are accustomed with the procurement cycle can join this course immediately, and there will be separate course which will be conducted for freshers as well who do not have experience or industry experience and who are not aware of industry processes. They will be imparted trainings, first making them accustomed on industry processes and then taking them via SAP Material Management course. As you know, SAP Material Management is a core module in any ERP. It is also called Procure to Pay module nowadays. It is a part of supply chain management in SAP, and it is a central module and a core module in SAP or in any other ERPs. So SAP Material Management, as you know, it integrates internally with all other modules. Like unless you for any production industry or service industries, you have to procure materials, raw materials, services, service parts, right, spare parts to maintain your industry. So materials management is also integrated with finance, right, human resources. So this has become a core module along with other modules as well. And there is a huge demand for material management consultants in the market as of now. So this is purely a course for functional consultants. So after you get trained in materials management, you will be deployed or you will be recruited as SAP functional consultants. So there are two streams in SAP, a functional and technical, which I will take you through in future further slides. Okay, what is SAP? Basically, what is ERP first? So enterprise resource planning, which is full form of ERP, is a software or an application or a tool to manage your business, automate your business and back office functions. What SAP stands for Sustained Application and Products in Data Processing. R3 is real time, 3 is three-tier architecture. So SAP has its own architecture, which is called three-tier architecture. SAP is called SAP ECC. Why is it called SAP ECC? ECC is your enterprise core component because it holds all the core modules within itself. That is why it is called enterprise core component, to provide the solutions to your organization. All core modules: finance, controlling, production planning, procure to pay, order to cash, right? Record to report. All these are the part of core SAP solution. That is why it is called enterprise core component of SAP. Which are other ERP packages apart from SAP? There are Oracle, JD Edward, Microsoft Dynamics, right? PeopleSoft, Siebel, right? All these are the ERP packages in the market. But SAP, being one of the largest ERP package, is being widely used across the industries, be it a manufacturing industry, service industry, right? Real estate industry, transportation industry. SAP is a one-stop solution for all of them nowadays. So there is a huge demand for SAP consultants, functional as well as technical in the market. So why SAP? What are the advantages of SAP? So SAP, because of its few of the highlighted points, become very important in the market because because of its ability to work in multiple languages across the globe, secure information, right? What is multiple languages? So in a single system, you can have a process, you can have your data processing in multiple languages. If you are creating a material or item code or item description, right? So you can have that item description displayed in English in India and German in Germany, Portuguese in Brazil. So single material can have multiple languages incorporated for various users located in various countries. Secure information. So SAP is built on a platform which is very secure. Information transfer from one place to another place is very secure. There are tightly inbuilt SOD checks, roles and authorization. Yes, what is SOD? So SOD is segregation of duties, which I would explain you when we go for a detailed course. Integrated. So what is integration? Integration within the modules, right? Between the modules which are the core part of SAP. I told you materials management is integrated with sales and distribution, production planning, human resources, maintenance, right? All these modules are tightly integrated. So for example, if you are procuring a raw material, if you have procured a raw material which is getting used in a finished product, so unless this material is procured and stocked, production planning person cannot start his production, right? He cannot start the manufacturing process itself because the material is not there. And if you try to create a production order or try to create a manufacture a product, system will stop you because there is no raw material procured by procurement team. Okay. So this is called as tightly integrated. So one module is dependent on other module is dependent on third module. So all these are interdependent modules. One of the main advantage of SAP is because procurement sale, apart from procurement and sales, it posts your accounting entries online. Okay, there is no need to have separate package like Tally and other things or Oracle financials to post your accounting entries. So whenever there is a posting happening in SAP at transaction level, like if you post your goods receipts or invoice verifications or bills from vendor, the accounting entries or financial entries are automatically posted in the system. There is no manual intervention required. It can handle multiple currencies in single instance. Right? So if you have a company in India You can have multiple companies. Organization can have multiple legal entities. It can be based out of India, one in India, other in US, in Brazil, in Germany. So in single instance, SAP can handle multiple local currencies. Like in India, INR would be there, right? In US, USD can be there. Germany would have its own currency. UK can have its own currency. All these currencies are handled at one place in SAP. Uh, Most of the industries are using worldwide that enterprise wide use of SAP, and it is the single most largest, single most software being used in across the industries, right? So because of vast experience, SAP started is consulting practice in way back in 1972. Since then, they are also working closely with the industries, various industries, manufacturing, automobile, pharma, service, and all. And they have come up with the best solutions in the industries which are part of SAP box. That is best practices. That is also called best practices. So you can always refer best practices of SAP, which can be used 70 to 80% in any implementation projects, which would reduce your time of implementation, reduce time of scoping and various processes. So these are the various advantages of SAP. What is the architecture of SAP? So R3, it has three layers. This is presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. Hence that is called SAP R3. The presentation layer is where all the users sit and transact from this presentation layer. All these transactions are reflected or processed in application layer. From there, all your applications, whenever you whenever you execute a command in presentation layer, that is transferred to application layer, from where all your transactional data is picked up. Database layer, where all your data is residing, all your tables, table structure, ABAP, Java, stacks, and all are residing at database layer. So presentation layer, you can have multiple layers, presentation layers, because this is projected to the end user. So end user have multiple workstations. So all the data is reflected into application layer from various from various layers, presentation layers, and then all the data is residing in database layer. Right hand side, if you see, there is SAP industry solutions. So SAP has come up with specific solutions apart from ECC as a box. There are specific solutions based on their experience and based on the study. These are called SAP industry solutions, which are for retail, utilities, oil and gas, aerospace, automobile, right? And if you see this diagram on the right hand side, ERP, SAP ERP 6. So ERP 6 is the latest version in ERP, SAP ERP. Before that, it was 5 version. There were 4.7 version of SAP, 4.6C version. All these were SAP version. SAP ERP 6 is the latest version of SAP, based on web application server and all. Other native viewer component, SAP has its own native viewer component, which has enterprise portal, process integration, business intelligence, master data management, composition, environment. So native viewer is a separate component from where you can connect to other systems as well. SAP can be connected to some other systems through native viewer. So entire SAP solution look like this. So all your SAP Enterprise Core component, if you see, this is where your all models MM, SD, PP, or your core models are residing here. So all these are the modules available in SAP as of now. Sales and distribution. So when you sell your products to customer, it is handled through a sales and distribution model. Material management, where procurement happens. Production planning, where your production and manufacturing planning takes place. Quality management is another module where quality checks happens. Plant maintenance is your maintenance modules. Human resources, which is HR module. Financial accounting is for your all financial transactions. Controlling is your management reporting. Fixed asset management is for asset. Project systems is a model wherein like it is used mostly in your retail industry, where there are projects and projects are managed at WBS element level or activity level. There are workflows. You can build workflows, approval workflows within SAP, and there are industry solutions which is standing in SAP. So there are special activations for industry solution. So those activation have to be done separately. Why SAP is the clear choice for career development? So SAP, if you see this slide, it will clearly suggest you that SAP is implemented across several industry verticals for the day-to-day operations. It is one of the largest independent software supplier across the world, right? 12 million users are there who are working on SAP as of now. Across 180 countries, more than 1500 partners, 25 industry specific solutions, 1,30,000 installations worldwide. See the scope for SAP for you, all of you. So I'm working in a large industry as of now, and we find scarcity of the resources. We don't get proper resources to implement SAP solutions in the market. So if you have experience and you are good, willing to learn, we actually go for those resources. In fact, we don't ask even technical question. If we see the attitude of a person, ask few basic questions and take them. We impart the trainings internally and make him as a good consultant in the industry. So what are the career options for you? What we see, there are, as per my experience, there are three major options for you. If you work in a company that plans to implement SAP ERP, you can be a part of that implementation from your company. You can be a part of your core team so that you get accustomed with the SAP, and then you can go ahead with your consulting career path. If you find any other company implementing SAP, even if you don't have SAP experience, you can go there and be a part of implementation team from the company. Or there are consulting, if you want to go for directly consulting career, you can opt for several authorized consulting firms. There are consulting from IT firms which implement for large manufacturing sectors or industry sectors, I would say. So what we offer to propel your career in SAP? So based on our experience across the industry in SAP, we have designed an exhaustive course content and scenario coverage for specific for the consultant, specific for. So there are, I would tell you afterwards what are the different options in SAP as such. And we also teach GST configurations and processes. We cover special scenarios for interstate and intrastate stock transfers. It's a very special if you consider GST in India. We also cover special scenario for intrastate and interstate subcontracting process, which is very unique process in itself. Special scenario for reverse charge mechanism. Again, this is a unique process under GST. We will give you project execution using real-time scenarios. We'll give you some scenarios. We'll ask you to prepare the system, to make the system work as per the scenario. Mock interviews and resume preparations. We'll have mock interviews. We'll conduct at least 3 interviews of yours to make you prepare for real interviews. And yeah, the institution will also help you in preparation of your resume. So what is typical SAP implementation methodology? So SAP's implementation methodology is called ASAP methodology. Okay, I'll come to this point, this slide, after this slide. Okay, I'll take you to this slide first. So this is called ASAP methodology. What is ASAP methodology? So ASAP methodology would have 5 phases. So one is project preparation, business blueprint, realization, final preparation, and then go live and support. So these are the exactly phases which I have mentioned: project preparation, business blueprint, realization, final preparation, go live and support. So these phases follow one after another in sequential manner. Any implementation, any greenfield implementation. So there is a difference between implementation and rollout. I will let you know the differences. As of now, I am talking about the implementation. Implementation has this methodology, so you have to follow this methodology in the market whenever you go for implementation project. So what do you do in project preparation? So project preparation, usually consultants do not participate in project preparation phase. Project preparation phase basically is main stakeholders for project preparation phase would be plant managers and above, implementation partner managers and above. What they do is they do the initial planning of the project, they set up project procedure, training plans, do some kickoff meetings, they understand the technical requirement, and they do the quality checks before starting the projects. They also check the infrastructure readiness, whether their core team is available or not, what is the core team size, how many people have to be trained, based on which further planning can be done. What locations training have to be conducted is very important. Whether training will be conducted to all the users or it will be like train the trainer concept. Like we would train some of the users from core users from client side, and they would further train the end users. So all these strategies planned in project preparation phase. Business blueprint. In business blueprint, you do your study. You study the current business of the client. You ask them the question. There will be specific set of questionnaire which you would have. You understand the current business. You understand what is the requirement in the current system, that is called as is and to be, right? What they would like to understand what SAP can provide them. Also, so there could be some workshops. You can demonstrate the best practices of SAP to them, and they would come up with a requirement. They would say, okay, I would need this, I would not need this, right? When you prepare a business blueprint, after as is and to be is prepared, you can understand the gaps. Basically, what is the requirement and what is not available in the system. Okay, so for that you will have to do some enhancements. There will be above work which is not available, the functionalities which are not available in SAP as a standard. You will have to enhance the program, SAP program, to make them work as per the requirements, right? So you do the project management training plans also done here, business process analysis, business process definition, quality checks also done here. Business blueprint phase takes the longest time in the project, so it takes around 2 to 3 months of total time, 2 to 3 months in itself a project business blueprint preparation phase. This decides your course of the project. So you will have to understand all the details, minute details of the requirements, and document the requirements in business blueprint document. So you would come up with as is to be, as is what is as is, then to be solution, what are the gaps, right? What are the authorization requirements, what are the reporting requirements, right? What are the different enhancements which you have to carry out. At least you have to list down in the business blueprint itself, and business blueprint has to be signed by the client. Realization phase is the phase where you actually refer your business blueprint document and start configuring the system. So when you configure the system, it means you are starting the realization phase. You refer the business blueprint document and start your mapping. You map your processes in SAP to suit the requirements. So in realization, you do baseline configuration and confirmation, system management, final configuration. You develop your programs, interfaces, etc. You do the unit testing. You also do quality checks. You also do final integration testing, right? UATs, all are carried out in realization phase. So basically, realization phase cut across your development server and quality server. So typical system landscape would be a three. There could be three or two system landscape. Three system landscape, it means you have development system, quality system, and production system separately. Two system, some of the client who has a budget constraint can go for two system architecture, wherein they have development and quality in one system, and then production as a live system. Okay, so realization phase cut across development and quality system. This is the after business blueprint. This is the next largest phase. Then final preparation. What final preparation? What are the activities conducted under final preparation? Final preparation is for and not limited to trainings. It also for your final checks of the system, some mock runs that you would upload some master data like custom vendor master, material master. Okay, in final preparation, this also happens in quality client, right? And then it also cut across quality, and then you go to production. So production, you do the cutover activities. What are cutover activities? So cutover activities basically are your moment when you transfer your configurations to production. So that is a configuration data transfer. Then there are some system client specific checks you will have to carry. That also is in production. That is also called a client specific cutover. Master data cutover, master data migrations like customer master, vendor master, which you get in a templates, and you can have upload programs and you can upload it to the production system before starting the transaction. So these are the prerequisites before even you start your transaction. You have transactional data, which are your open transaction from your legacy system like open purchase orders, open goods receipts, open purchase requisitions, okay, stock balances, everything you uploaded to SAP to make SAP in line with your current system, from where you can take up and start the live transaction in SAP. After everything is checked, right, all your master data is migrated, all your transaction data is migrated, what you get is a ready for go live. Now you can start transactions in SAP in final after final preparation phase. You go live, you start your transaction in SAP, live transaction. So you can, if you have any purchase order to be created or any goods receipt uh, which is pending in your legacy system, now you have opened a new purchase order in SAP. You can start the goods receipt against that purchase order, or you can create a new purchase requisition purchase order in SAP that is declared as go live, and then continuous support. So there is a hypercare support which is provided after every implementation. That could be around one month to 3 months, which is a hypercare, which is a part of your project plan, wherein you get, whenever there is live transaction running in the system, there could be some of the pending issues or some user related issues which you get, which you will have to resolve. So there are different kinds of issue you would get in support. There will be critical, low, medium. We categorize them as low, medium, or high, or very high. Very high, in fact, is a showstopper for any organization. So those issues have to be resolved immediately within 2 to 4 hours to allow the system to work continuously. Otherwise, system would stop. People would stop working on SAP. This will have disturbances in your business. It should not happen. So we just cut off the legacy system after go live and just start the transaction in your SAP directly. So SAP material management. So what we would be covering for you, apart from normal processes, apart from those special processes, we would be conducting, or we will be having all these processes for SAP materials management. And typical material management process start with requirement determination. What is requirement determination? Requirement determination is basically whenever there is a finished product to be planned, or finished product to be manufactured, it has to be planned in advance. So to plan that finished product in advance in SAP, there is a terminology called material requirement planning. So planning, lot of planning, because if you want to manufacturing a product, you would need raw material, you would need the resources, human resources, you would need the machine, you would need indirect materials which are not actually part of your finished product, but still you need like coolants and all, which will not be taking part in your manufacturing, but they will be used in manufacturing processes. So all these requirements are determined through material requirement planning. So there is a planning run which happens. It starts with planning run. So if there could be two cases, material can be available in the system or materials are not available, raw materials are not available in the system. Wherever there are raw material available in the system for particular components, those can be directly consumed by manufacturing process. But other components, if they are not available, they have to be sourced from outside, they have to be procured from outside. So as soon as the material requirement planning is run, it generates purchase requisitions. Purchase requisition are nothing but a requirement to procure the material in the particular department. So requirements are determined, purchase requisitions are run or generated, sources of supplies are identified. It means who are the potential source of supply for this particular material are identified. Vendor selection happens. Then it comes to order processing, right? Then you create a purchase order in the system. You get purchase order approved, right? You have contracts in place. You can go for release orders as well through contracts. There are a lot of various options you have in SAP. After purchase order, you can have goods receipt posted. After goods receipt, only the stock is available for use. After goods receipt, it goes to quality checks. Quality parameters are recorded. Materials are rejected or accepted as per the quality parameters. If they are accepted, they are ready for use. So they can be used and consumed in manufacturing. After goods received, invoice is posted and payments are released. This is the high level material management cycle. So some of the basic things in SAP. SAP uses lot of shortcuts. So there is a menu driven path in SAP as well as a shortcut. A shortcut method which uses 4 character, mostly the 4 character code, 4 or 5 character code, which is called a transaction code. A transaction code is to access the function running a program in SAP application more rapidly instead of using the menu. So he can directly go to that. When you enter a code, he can directly go to the code, can directly go to the screen where he want to execute the transaction. If one doesn't remember the T code, he can go via menu path. So there are different menu paths available. How is typical organization structure in SAP procurements? So these are the main organization structure elements under procurement. So company code is a legal entity which is defined in SAP. So what is company code? Company code holds all the details related to company. What is the currency company is using, right? What is the financial year they are managing? What are the chart of accounts it is holding? Balance sheet is drawn at company code level. So all the GL accounts, or you can say accounting, basically this is a financial entity. Hello.
This conference will now be recorded.
So this is the brief organization structure: company code, plant, storage location, purchase organization, and purchasing group. So details of each of the element of the organization structure we would be continuing in next class. We'll be starting next class with this slide now. Okay, that is it from my side. Thank you.